Jaylen, who we're definitely worried about now.
Officially worried?
I
Panic
mean,
meter. Where's the panic? Do you have the panic?
I'm not counting
do you have
on
the
him playing
panic meter
tomorrow.
thing?
Yeah, Jimmy loves that shit.
We used to have that. I
We
haven't seen
need
it in a
that.
while.
We
I
do.
know we have
I'm
it
gonna
somewhere.
get that for tomorrow. You're not gonna be here though. We're not gonna see you for 2 weeks now.
We don't.
You won't see. You won't see me tomorrow. But John, you used to have a list of or a handful of graphics that you could toss up.
This is my favorite.
You'll have to go back into your treasure
Return
chest and
from
look for
injury management cracks me up.
I've never heard
return.
anything
Come
like
on,
that.
it looked terrible the other night. That's why.
No, I love this euphemism. You know, this
It doesn't even make sense.
Return from injury management.
In other words, we looked like shit last game. So.
But that's what they've been putting on the injury report, and they're the first people in history have used this phrase.
It doesn't make sense. Return from injury management.
Does that mean you returned too early?
What it means is right.
That's why he's out, because
instead
he's
of saying
returning from
he's
injury
hurt,
management.
they're saying they're managing the return from injury.
Yeah.
But he's hurt.
I asked Ime today if they brought him back too early, and he said no. They did everything they needed to do. He passed all the tests, blah, 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 blah.
But he'll be out for the next 3 weeks.
Hard to argue that.
Yeah.
And he said it's not
a. Back right on time.
He said it's not a setback. It's not a re-aggravation. Like it's just words, right? Like he's out again.
Right. None of this. These are all semantics. Yes, it is a setback.
Again.
It's very simple. If he was
I almost
healthy,
put setback
he would be
in the
playing.
headline. I was like, come on, really? But
it's 10,000% a setback.
Yeah.
If he doesn't play tomorrow, I don't know how they can argue that.
Let's put it this way. Let's put it in simpler terms. They brought him back, and the hope would be that he would just play basketball when he returned. They didn't bring him back with the idea that he's going to be gimping around the court and then miss some games. They brought him back when he was rested to play basketball and wanted to ramp him up with a minutes restriction. The fact that he's grabbing at his hamstring every second and sitting out games is a setback. That's backwards. Forwards would be you ramp up the minutes and he plays. Less playing is backwards. It's a setback. It's not that difficult. Like, I don't know why we're talking about this.
He's back to where he was before. He's
backwards. It's a setback.
Yeah, you literally set him back from where he was. It is a setback.
It's back. He was here and now he's here.
Now he's back again. Yeah, he's set back further away.
I want to pull this up too.
Yeah,
like
what do you
Whoa, it's not a setback.
I wrote about this.
I wouldn't call it that.
I wrote about this for the site today because, again, like it's such a weird situation.
Yeah.
And like just tracking the
you
whole
call that a
progression
pushback?
of this. Like he was
Bobby,
pushing. He was pushing to get back early, as we know, like as early as Cleveland series. Held him out for about 3 more games there. And he came out after that first game back and said, I felt tightness. I didn't like how I felt out there, I think is exactly how he said it. And, he comes back out for the Brooklyn game 2 games later and felt better about things. But I was watching him through his warm-ups, and it's just that carefulness of his movement, the lack of burst. And, you may said he did see burst from him. I'm sure there were times where you saw some burst from Brown. And he had a good game against Houston, but it deteriorated as the minutes went up. I mean, he did not look good in Philly at all playing 34. Held his ground defensively in the post, but he was getting blown by Harris, Curry, all these guys when he had to move laterally. You saw him grabbing at it. I mean, I asked Richardson today, too, like, how do you look to you? Said he's grabbing at it, stretching it out, all the things we saw. So I can't fathom why they're playing it off like nothing was wrong there and that there were no signs whatsoever that things weren't going well with the return, because we saw it every single game. I'm sure there were some ups and downs. I'm sure Brown didn't want to come out and he didn't sound the alarm at all there. But if you just see him stretching, grabbing, not looking good, then you kind of make a move there. I don't know.
And then on top of it, the thing that was worse for me was they said
we're a month into this injury now.
Yeah, and I mean you're a third of the way into the season basically. This is you're trending towards losing half the year if he continues to be up.
This is 9 games now.
Yeah, it's bad. Meaning like he started the season a little, rocky to begin with because he was still coming off of stuff and the
But
COVID.
he was playing well though.
Yeah, but I mean,
No,
everything.
you're right though. I mean, you gotta. If he can't, he makes his money by being like the athletic. He's athletic. He uses his athleticism to get up and down the court. To throw down nasty dunks. He's physical. If he
didn't
can't
look
do
like
those
himself.
things, exactly. If he doesn't have, healthy hamstrings or whatever it is, lower body that doesn't get that spring or that jump or that, what was the word you used, Bobby, a few minutes ago? Burst. Thank you. He doesn't have that.
That
So,
spark.
that burst. I wanted to say surge, but I knew it wasn't surge, so I asked. I had to phone a friend.
His overall sparkiness has taken a hit this year.
So this is what Brown said last week when they asked him about it. He said, "This is a little bit of a nagging injury. I've had hamstring injuries a few times now. This one seems to keep lingering a bit, but I'm confident in the coming days I'll get back to 100%.
Then do some
get
squats.
back to winning.
Do some squats, kid.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Squats.
Oh, man.
Taking the right measures
Nobody
to get
wants
back
to do
being
squats,
myself
but
again.
everybody has to do squats.
You got to stop skipping leg day, Jaylen. That's what's happening right now. That's how you get hamstring injuries. Work it out. Okay?
I just don't.
Bobby doesn't skip leg day.
And again, I always use some cautiousness in these spots because we don't know.
It's funny how
the
Bobby
injury,
just
but-
plows ahead trying to have like an intelligent
Yeah, I
conversation.
know.
No, but I'm just so baffled by this. Like, I've really never been baffled by an injury situation more than this one.
It is strange, right?
Because we know, like, listen, we don't know, but we kind of know. In a hamstring, hamstring, you don't mess around with it. And he was out there looking like he wasn't healthy.
That's what I
don't
mean.
know.
Is he's missed 9 games, but
Why not just keep him out?
2 or 3 were basically lost games as well. So we're looking at over half, which is a total just gone right now at this point. And we're guessing he's going to miss at least 1 more here. And if he keeps riding this roller coaster for who knows how long, again, we're going to be 30 games into
can't
the
ride the
year,
roller
and you'll
coaster.
only have had Jaylen Brown healthy for like 8 or 9 of those games. And that's
Right.
just not. It doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah, especially because the longer we get into the season, playoff positioning, all that stuff, All-Star weekend, right after that, that's when you really have to start picking up the slack here, And the Celtics have just been middling, they've been that 500 team, and they need that extra from someone like Jaylen Brown. And although I don't think Philadelphia game I didn't expect him to be to look that bad just from eye test standpoint. I don't think the Celtics did either. But they're not going to sit there and tell Bobby, when you ask him that, Ime's not going to be like, yeah, looking back on it, he's just not going to do that. But I think we all know the answer to that question, that it was a mistake. It was a mistake. They shouldn't have done it, and they got too hyped up, and they wanted to rev him up a bit.
Did
I
he
think they
push
knew
them
that he
into it?
Realistically, they knew you weren't going to see him playing that that back-to-back on the road.
Right? Because
They
they're
thought that they would ramp him up with that Philly game,
they're probably going off his feedback, right? Like, how you feel with this? How do you feel with that? And he's pushing and pushing and pushing.
They
He was
want
trying
him
to come
they
back
want
3
to give
games
it up.
earlier.
He's got to.
I don't get it.
Be honest.
You can watch it and see the second the guy with the hamstring injury straightens up and grabs the back of his leg, you're like, okay, that's it for you tonight. Like,
Unless he's a star, right?
That's it. No, I mean,
Even if he is the star,
we all
he's-
watch sports,
pumped.
right? You see it all the time. A
Love
football
sports,
player
dude.
sprinting
Always.
down the
Bad on
field.
Wednesday.
It's always.
Football player sprints down the field, grabs at the back of his leg. That's it. He's done. That's
Yeah.
it. That's the end of the game.
Yep.
You
He's
know?
grabbing behind it, or running down the first baseline, right? And you come up.
Oh, yeah. Right
pull
away.
it in,
Bye.
You
Pull it,
immediately
yeah.
leave the game. You see in 2 weeks.
Yeah, that's it. Couple weeks. See you later. See how it feels.
And they did give him
Yeah.
a couple weeks. It just didn't heal.
But
like
he's
they
not
thought it
right.
would.
Yeah.
And it's amazing. I was looking back at his history with this. March 2020, missed 4 games with it. Still amazing to me. When he had this happen to begin that Philly series, I think it was in Game 7 against Milwaukee, you were like, uh-oh. Like, they won this one, but, man, he is going to miss
Oh, my
this whole
God. Was that
series.
surprising, right?
And he comes
Yeah.
back in Game 2, and
I
not
don't
only
know
is
how
he
he
back,
did that.
but he was the best player in the series.
So that's a good point, Bobby. Like he may have, like Jaylen Brown may have like the most unique set of hamstrings in the world, where like his can get hurt, but he can play through it when everybody else is like, I got to sit out for 3 weeks, because he did do that time, and we were like, hamstring.
I don't know
that means
how
you're,
he did that.
we're like, oh, hamstring. That means you're done, and he's out there playing through a hamstring, and I don't know how.
And
he
maybe
does
that's
that.
why he's re-injuring it.
I don't know. It's weird.
I don't know
Maybe,
either.
right? Did that 18
I'm a
series
bit of a
cost him in the
doctor,
future?
so.
I mean,
know.
he's had everything's related, right? He's had knee, he's had ankle, he's had hip, he's had wrist. I don't think the wrist is as related, but all those things are kind of in the same general area there, and it always seems like something is hurting him in the lower body there. So I don't know if it's a strength situation or what it is, management situation on the team's part. But Brown, like, I've felt it kind of creeping up these last couple of years here, especially last year. I mean, I don't want to call him injury prone, but he's trending in that direction.
Squats, kid.
I'm not ready to call him injury prone yet.
I'm not either.
He's not like Gordon Hayward status, but you don't want to get that label attached.
He's
to you.
somewhere between.
Close.
Yeah. Is he?
Depending how the season ends, I think that'll be the new label for him.
Yeah, if you're playing 60 games every year at 82, whatever the percentage
I'm not
is.
saying
We were worried
it's
about it
out of the
last year,
realm of
remember?
possibilities.
We started talking about it last year. Like,
Then he goes down for the year.
this could be a thing, you know?